What attracted me to the part of Bob Anderson? Actually, it's more the other way around. I attracted Bob Anderson to me. I wrote the play, of course, which means I wrote the part for myself, trying to cater to my own particular strengths as an actor and push the weaknesses behind, out of the way. Well, Bob's very different now than he was initially. When Coming Out was written, initially Bob was not a college professor. He was a minister. He was, I guess you would say, a lapsed Baptist minister on the day of his retirement. And he'd actually been an atheist for the last 10 years. The question, obviously, was if he'd been an atheist for the last 10 years, why was he still a minister for all these years? And the answer, of course, is the only thing he knew how to do. And his pension fund was still woefully lacking. And now there was enough money he could retire, so he did. Unfortunately, he didn't turn out to be a very likable character in that way because, well, everyone looked at him and said, he's been pulling a con job on his congregation for the last 10 years. So the minister's gone, although his son, oldest son, is certainly still a minister, and certainly still believes. As for Bob, he's a college professor now. He has a degree in philosophy from Oxford. He's married to Susan, who has a degree in English literature from Ohio State. They both have PhDs, or in the case of Bob, since he got his degree at Oxford in England, he has a D.Phil, which is the same degree, it's just written differently. I think the biggest advantage of making Bob a professor instead of a preacher is simply that he's a lot more likable now. He's still an atheist, still very much an atheist, but now he's not fooling anybody. He's a philosophy professor. We almost expect philosophy professors to be atheists. And he's just a much more likable personality now. He has a few more weaknesses now, too. The original Bob was a Baptist, so he didn't drink. This Bob is not a Baptist. He does drink. He drinks quite a bit, actually. Why is he English now? Well, he's English because I can get away with it, for one thing. I wrote the part, I can put on this silly accent if I feel like it. I enjoy playing him that way. And I can get away with it. Especially since he's lived in the United States for 38 years, so the accent isn't quite perfect. Well, there's a good reason for it. He's been exposed to Midwesternisms over the last 38 years, hasn't he? Is there a message? I think the message really is just accept people. Give people what's due them. George and his partner Eric are literally going to have to move from Ohio, somewhere around Columbus, we're not really saying exactly where, to New York in order to be married. And that's frankly not right. There's no particular reason why a gay couple should be allowed to get married in one state and not in another state. I have to disagree with the whole notion that marriage is only for having children. I'm sorry, I'm 64 years old. If I get married again, it's probably going to be to someone past menopause. So if you're saying that gays can't get married because they can't have children, well, you're also saying really that I can't get married because I can't have children anymore either with whoever I'm likely to marry. What's right for one is right for the other. And marriage isn't about children anyway, never has been. It's always been about property. If there's a message, that's it, is just let people be who they are. The goal for the show. The goal for the show, first of all, is to have a successful run in Dublin. Sell out every night. Well, we hope we sell out every night anyway. And if we have a successful run in Dublin, then the next goal is to move the show to New York. Probably off-Broadway.